Hey, good morning. Day of 67, just before 6 o'clock. You guys can go ahead. And we're just getting started. Just had about 5 hikers pass us up. They're all doing the same pass, and they want to get down to the ferry to VVR. So you got, I think they said 17 miles. Like 4:30, so they should be able to do that if they keep a good pace. We, on the other hand, are just headed up to the next pass. We're going to go as far as we can. We got about 2.5 days to get to Mammoth, so let's head down the trail. Okay, this is our home last night. Not too shabby, just the 4 of us. Okay, we're back in snow patches. Had across 3 or 4 of them already. Snow's getting more prevalent towards the top. 45 minutes. 6:45. We get to the top of Selden Pass, and that side's beautiful. Look at these lakes. You gotta be careful. This is the view from on top of Selden Pass. Down below, I believe that's Marie Lake. Just gorgeous lake. This is why we do this. I mean, just look at these views. Sun's coming up over the ridge. 6:45 a.m. See the group of hikers that just summited with us. And that's the top of the pass right there. So about 9 days ago, there was about 2 miles of snow going down on the north side. Looks like it might be a little bit less. We've been doing it without spikes so far. We'll have to see how the conditions are on the way down. It doesn't look too bad compared to the past ridges or past passes. Okay, so this is Bear Creek, and it's a pretty significant crossing. Not too bad, but significant. We did a detour. Cost us maybe a half hour. But we crossed 2 small creeks instead of this one. The 2 that we did were, first one was like ankle deep. Second one was a little deeper, but we found a big log, so we didn't even get wet in the second one. This one here probably would have been knee to thigh deep. And it's moving pretty good. So most people are just crossing this, but I think we made a good decision. Why take the extra risks? My left side's jacked a little bit. Between my left foot is hurting, and I don't know if it's my spleen or whatever, but my hip, kind of in the back. So I'm just babying my left foot, my whole left side, which makes me really slow. So hiking behind the group most of the day. They usually wait and catch up, but I think we got a big long downhill now, so I'll probably just be hiking the next couple miles by myself, just going real slow, trying to take it easy and nurse their injuries. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully just going slow, I can make it a Mammoth and rest up a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on things. More of the Bear River. Flowing pretty good. This is what we avoided crossing earlier. Okay, end of day 67 wrap up. Today was tough day for me, just because it was one of those days that you just feel off. I think it was just all these little aches and pains and that were just adding up, taking its toll. So I just wasn't in the mood to hike. But, you know, you're on the PCT, so you gotta hike. It's just, can't just sit around. Just put my head down and went with it. We did that alternate route there a little bit, avoided a major creek crossing, and we did 2 smaller ones instead. So that worked out pretty good. We did Selden Pass, and then after that you come down about 1,500 feet, but then you have to go right back up 1,000 feet and back down. So there's a lot of switchbacks up and down, and that probably didn't add to my good mood. But we got all the way down past the trail junctions for Vermilion Ranch, and are part way up the last pass that we're going to do before resupply, and that's a Silver Pass, which we'll do tomorrow. So all in all, we did 17 miles. So I think that's the most that we've done in the Sierras. So the passes are getting a little bit easier, a little bit less snow. We still had a fair amount of snow, but it wasn't like 5 miles like it was yesterday. We didn't use the micro spikes at all because we were up there early. Over tomorrow's pass, it'll be the same thing. We'll get up and over early. All right, I had to jump in my tent just because the mosquitoes were just swarming, and I couldn't walk fast enough to stay away from them. Last two things for the closeout. One, just took off my wet socks, shoes and socks. They were soaked. They were pretty much wet most of the day, because we did have that early creek crossing that got to ankles, but then we had several more and crossing snow, and there was a couple creek crossings just before we got to camp. So that one day of dry feet, I think, is an isolated incident. Anyway, you can see my socks here kind of hanging up to dry. They won't dry, but I'll start off with another dry pair tomorrow, and I'll dry these out at lunch. The other thing, I don't know if you remember that helicopter rescue and that section hiker that was all dehydrated and just decided to tap out. And kind of the funny thing was his trail name was Waterboy. Something like that happened today, where at lunch we saw this girl walking the other direction down the trail, but she didn't have a backpack. She just had like her puffy and some rain pants, and that was it. So, we asked her what was going on. She goes, she said that she left her GPS a ways back and had to go back and get it. After lunch, she had turned around, she came back, and we ended up passing her and talked to her a little bit, because she didn't even have any water. She had some snacks, I guess, but she just had her rain jacket, or her puffy jacket, her rain pants, and a couple snacks. So Gandalf gave her some water, and it turns out she left her GPS at lunch like 7 miles back and didn't realize it till she set up camp. So she had to backtrack 7 or 7.5 miles, go get the GPS, and then come back. So 15 miles because she forgot her GPS. And as we were talking to her, she goes, "Yeah, it happens to me all the time. I've been forgetting stuff since trail day 3, and for a while we had a trail family that was behind us. They'd always just pick up my stuff and bring it up to me because I was always forgetting it." Kind of like Waterboy. Turns out her trail name is Lost and Found. So sometimes the trail names are just spot on. Anyway, that's about it for today. We'll catch you tomorrow as we go up the Silver Pass. Morning of day 68. It's the last full day out here. Plans to get up and over Silver Pass, do about 15 miles, maybe 17, and set ourselves up for going to Mammoth. Silver Pass shouldn't be too bad. I think the snow's manageable, so I think we're all set. Everyone's gearing up and ready to head out. It's about 10 to 6, so we're getting our typical early start. Should be a good day. We'll see you on down the trail. Alright, so it wasn't even 10 minutes before we had 2 creek crossings. So 6 o'clock and the feet are officially wet and cold, about par for the course. But after that we did some pretty steep climbing. I'm just catching my breath here. But check out this meadow. I mean, how beautiful is that? Pretty sweet, huh? Okay, onward and upward to Silver Pass. We're about a mile away from Silver Pass. This is a beautiful area. You got the mountains covered in snow, along with a nice little lake in the foreground. I don't know if you can see with the shadows. Kind of just came over this plateau here. Got the mountains that we've been over the last couple of days, and this ridge line. The sun is just behind here, so it's just, it's been poking on and off as we've been hiking, depending on elevation. Just below this ridgeline is another little pond. And up ahead, here's the path. And you can see the pass up there. About just under a mile away. What a gorgeous day. Here's another view from a little higher up. Just how beautiful is this? Completely unspoiled. Wildland Sierra. So 8 o'clock, and we're about at Silverwood Pass, 10,800 feet. Just gorgeous views up here. Passes are getting relatively easier, and keywords relatively, because none of them are really easy. You gotta climb up, 2,000 to 4,000 feet at elevation, sucking wind every day, but this one's pretty nice getting up, and the views are just spectacular. Weather's nice, sun's hitting us now, there's no wind, so it's just pleasant to sit and catch your breath, maybe have a snack. That's the valley we just came up. Those mountains in the background. And how beautiful is that? Even though this is a pass, we do have a little bit higher to go. The trail goes over this high point. I think somewhere over here. So we still have maybe 150 feet to climb over this high point, and then we go back down the other side. Even though the pass is right here. So here's the high point over Silver Pass, and this is the view going north. So we're gonna head down next day or so. Just gorgeous. This is why you embrace the suck. And just have these views every which way. And that's back where we came over. Luckily we got a bridge here. Look at this. This would be a tough to ford. Gorgeous river, gorgeous waterfall. Right after lunch, let's check out this view. Snow-capped mountains, beautiful blue alpine lake, blue sky. I guess there's a couple clouds just for interest up there. Man, this is why you put in the work. Just around every turn, scenes like this. Still a little chilly to take a dip, but the day's coming. Deer going right through our camp. Okay, nice little camp spot by the creek. Lots of spaces. Just had a deer walk through our campsite. Spent a couple minutes. Didn't seem phased by us at all. So here's my tent site. You got Dr. Tom's over here. And then Gandalf's is over here. He's putting his beer canister away. And then back in these trees, you can see blackouts. I think we're the only ones down here. Real nice spot, real close to water, but there are a ton of mosquitoes. It's probably the worst mosquitoes we've had so far on the trip. So, using my head net all since we got here to put up my tent and eat dinner. And I've got my puffy jacket on and the hood up, just all bundled up to keep the mosquitoes away. So it's not bad with, when you get all covered up, but they are pretty fierce. Okay, end of day 68 wrap up. And yes, I got my head net on because mosquitoes are everywhere. They're swarming. There's a creek right near us, and there's just a lot of wetland. So mosquitoes are everywhere, so just got to deal with it. Today was a good day. We got up and over the pass. It was one of the easiest passes to get over. So they're getting progressively easier. I think mostly because the snow's melting. The snow's melting, and they're getting a little bit lower. Although today's was like 11,000 feet, so they're not super low. But it was, 5 miles up, pretty easy to get over, and the way down, kind of some snow, but not much. Then we went about another 10 miles, had to do 1,000 feet up, cross some stuff, and then 1,000 feet down. Got to where we planned to camp in 15 miles about 3 o'clock. No, about 4 o'clock. But everyone was feeling good, and their legs were feeling good. Today is the 21st, so summer solstice, longest day, plenty of light. I was a little bit hesitant. I was feeling fine. I was just kind of a little bit concerned. I didn't want to push it too hard, because, my toe and my hip, or above my hip, I don't know if it's my kidney or spleen or whatever, was giving me problems. My shoulder was starting to hurt after long days. So I was a little bit concerned about going farther, but we as a group decided to go another 5 miles to the next tent site. So that's where we went. So we did 20 miles overall, about 5,000 feet of elevation gain. So this is probably our biggest, well, it is our biggest day in the Sierras at elevation, but still felt good. Camp's all set up. We had dinner. Probably should have taken a picture. Maybe I'll take a picture tomorrow morning. What I got left. I'm going to be getting into Mammoth, on fumes, food-wise. But this is our 8th day. We were planning on being in this afternoon. So I only brought 7 dinners. I had some other stuff. I had like a meal replacement bar and a Bobo's bar. And I still got snacks for tomorrow. And I kind of made do, and I got breakfast for tomorrow. But I'll probably be rolling in with just a few bars and some gummies and maybe some trail mix. So it worked out. And we kind of knew, after the first few days, we were going to go slower. The Sierras is tough. So we knew we weren't going to do it in the 7.5 days. We knew it, after a few days. So, but we had options. If we needed more food, we could have gone near to a ranch or Vermilion Ranch Resort. But all of us had enough food to stretch it out. So it really worked out well. And we're going to get in there early. With the 20-mile day today, we're only 5 miles where the bus picks you up the trailhead. We have 2 options. We can go to Reds Meadow and pick up the bus, or we can go down the side trail. So I think we're going to do the latter, but we'll confirm that tomorrow morning. All right, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.